Hi everybody, another episode of Off-Grid Homestead Cooking by Troy. Hopefully soon to be replaced by Off-Grid Homestead Cooking by Melanie. Today we're going to have some tilapia, some french fries, and hopefully some bread with butter, garlic butter, homemade garlic butter, and some Swiss cheese. Now I'm going to put some fries on here on the wood stove first. Good, nice hefty portion of fries. I want to put them in a single layer though, so they'll cook out easily. I might have to weigh down the outside edges because what happens is the pan, it's a thin, cheap pan, and it warps. And then my fries don't cook properly. So I've been using the wood stove a lot recently for cooking because it's a free source of heat energy for cooking. Somebody corrected me and said, well, it's not really free because you had to work to get the wood. But yeah, that's true. But once it's cooking, or once the wood is burning, it doesn't cost me anything to keep it going. I mean, to cook on it. The heat is there whether I use it or not. So there's the fries. Now this is going to take some time. Cooking on my tiny house wood stove is very slow because it's not very hot. But there, I think you can hear it start to sizzle. And I think I'm going to go out and get some bricks or something to put up on top of there because the, as I said, the pan will warp and then it doesn't touch the wood stove as well. But I'm going to cook them up and we'll be back. It'll probably be dark by the time we come back, but we'll be back. And once those fries are getting done, then I'm going to put on some tilapia and some seasoning and salts on the tilapia fillet, and then I'll put on some I'm going to make some garlic butter. I don't know if I'm going to go with the garlic. I'll probably just put some butter and some Swiss cheese on some bread and toast it, and I'm going to do it all on the wood stove tonight. Well everybody, we're back again. Now it's time for the tilapia fillet. I got these a really good deal on frozen individually packaged fillets the other day. Really good. It's blinded out by the light a little bit. But I got to move over the fries and I'll put the fillet on. I'll be right back. Alright. Pop this on. Listen to that sizzle when it goes on. Put it this way. Listen to that. That's hot. Cooking in the tiny house on wheels. Look at that. Alright everybody. Sorry I got my flashlight precariously perched. I didn't feel like undoing the camera. There's our tilapia and fries. I had to put that pot up on there to prop the pan against it. It's not doing as well as I thought it would. I have to get a better quality pan. This was a dollar store pan and it's actually burning the pan in the middle. I think it's actually going to burn through. Do not use a dollar store cookie pan on a wood stove. It's burning the pan, physically burning the pan in the middle. I don't know how that can be, but it's turning black. Unless there's some coating on this pan. But anyway, there it is. We'll let that fish cook up, and we'll be back in a little bit and make some butter bread with cheese. I'm going to throw on some butter. That pan is really warped out of shape. Now, I've cooked with this pan before, and it didn't give me this much trouble. But, yeah, it's a dollar store pan. I'm not going to be doing that again with this pan. I've got to go get a real quality pan. But I don't believe in no stick either. So, I got to find a pan that's just pure metal. A cookie pan. But, as I said, I have cooked with this before. I just never had it this hot. I heated up the stove more than I generally do because it was going to be cooking fish. So maybe that was a mistake on this wood stove. But I want to be able to cook that fish properly. And it's cooking. Look at that. Nice. Look at that. Alright. So I had him thawing today. I'll just add some butter, a little bit more butter now. And then I put some fries around the fish to soak up some of the flavor. It's going to taste good. So I'll be back in a while. Fish is cooking nicely. I want to put some seasoning salt on there, just on the fish itself. It's not a very strong salt, so I'm putting it on a little thick. I'm going to flip it back over one time. I think that fish is about done. I had flipped it over once already, off camera. Sorry about that. Half of it's done. Yeah, it's looking pretty good there. I want to rotate that. I think it's time to get the bread. Yeah. Alright, it's time to get the bread on there. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, now it's time to cut the bread. I'm not really gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna cut the bread or just peel the bread open. This was $1. Usually I bake my own bread, but I was shopping the other day for groceries for the blizzard preparations, and this was $1. You sure can't complain about that. So what I do is cut that in half, and then I'm going to put my butter on there, and I'm not sure yet how I'm going to melt the cheese on. But I'm going to put butter on both sides. Where did I put my knife? The butter is hard, so it's going to be a bit awkward. See if I can shave that down a little. Yeah, it's going to be a bit awkward. I like it thick, so it'll be fine anyway. I like a lot of butter on my bread. I can hear that fish cooking over there in the wood stove. It's going to be a good dinner tonight. Looking good. Yeah, I was thinking about garlic as well, but it takes a lot to hand dice garlic. And I've been eating my garlic in my smoothies, so I've got enough garlic in my diet. I've been having breakfast smoothies just about every day anyway. So there you go. A little bit more. I like butter. And then I'll put that over on the stove with the fish and the fries. And that'll cook up. Brown that bread. So we'll go over to the stove now. Alright, I'm going to pop this bread on there. You're going to hear some sizzling here in a minute. I hope. No? Nah, slowly. Alright. I'm going to brown that bread. Everything else looks really good. I could have put the bread on a little bit earlier. But I'm going to toast that, and then I'm going to turn the bread over and sort of toast it on both sides to warm it all the way through. And in the meantime, I'm going to shave some Swiss cheese really, really thin so it'll melt on there. You can see my mango left over from breakfast over here. Now, the reason you'll see that exposed that I've learned if I in the dry air here, I don't know for what reason, but if I put my fruit in a bag, it'll mold. If I leave it open, it'll be fine. So, and I use it every day, so it's perfectly okay like that. Now I'm going to really thin shave this here. I do not have a shaving tool, so I've just got to try to do it by hand. That'll be alright. I just want it really thinly sliced so that it'll melt on that hot bread when I put it on. That's too thin, it's sticking to the knife. Let me see if I can shave it down this way. Yeah, I don't have a nice cheese cutter. There you go, that's the way to do it. There you go. And the cheese was frozen, so it's a bit awkward to cut. It's coming off a little bit broken up. So it's a little awkward for me. Yeah, it's not cutting in that direction at all for me because it was frozen solid. My refrigerator was destroyed by squirrels, so I am using the outdoors as a refrigerator. And the outdoors is unpredictable. I'll cut one more piece. So you've got freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing. So my cheese is a little bit breaking up. But I think that'll do it. That's going to be perfect. Let's have a look at this bread. Ah, look at that. Nice golden brown. Nice. So I flipped it over. Just get it warm on that side. And then I'm going to pop the cheese on there to melt. My meal is done. So, forgive me. I'm over in the kitchen grabbing the cheese. I'm going to put that on there. Hopefully it's cut thin enough that it'll melt on. I hope. That's the theory anyway. That'll melt on there. And then I'll have some nice cheesy bread to go with my fish. One for me. Looking good. Look at that. Off-grid homestead cooking on the wood stove. Well, everybody, there is an off-grid homestead meal. That is so satisfying, cooking a meal on the wood stove. That is really nice. Cheese is melted as good as it's going to get. I could have left the bread on longer on the front face, but that's fine for me. Time to serve it up and enjoy some nice homestead cooking. So, I'm going to get that fish on here. It's going to be awkward trying to hold the plate and not let the pan move around. Here we go. Got some fish. Cooked up precisely perfectly well. Yeah, an extra helping hand is going to be good in so many ways around the homestead, I'll tell you. Trying to hold that pan down with my plate rather than with my hand. Sorry, I'm right in your way, aren't I? Let's get a piece of bread on there. Alright, and we'll get those fries on here. Serve them up. I am right in the way of the camera, aren't I? Alright, let's try to do it this way. Get those fries up here. Now, I am a big eater, so many of you guys would only probably eat a fraction of this, what I've cooked tonight. But I'm going to eat it all. I think I can fit both pieces of bread on there too. There we go. Alright, take this over to the table. Oh, that's happiness right there. Can you see that meal? Look at that. I don't know if you saw me serving that up. I'm sorry. Look at that. Let's take it over to the table and enjoy. Oh, look at that, everybody. Tilapia fries and cheesy butter bread cooked on the wood stove. Try a piece of fish. Perfect. The butter. Oh, nice. The butter set in nicely. The seasoned salt is just perfect. It's mild. Wow. Oh, wow. That is incredible. Oh boy. I'm going to have to do this again. I just made this up as on the fly tonight. The fries are crispy. I mean, you wouldn't know you could do that on a wood stove, right? Look at that. Beautiful. See how the bread turned out? Oh, it's toasted nice. Look at that on a wood stove. This is amazing. Off-grid homestead cooking with Troy. Well, I'm going to dig in. I'll talk to you all later.